white team gets it, and they score, so we're tie again. So we called it there, but that was probably the best way to end
That's
it.
great. Kind of gives them a little bit idea of potentially what may happen. And I think a lot of leagues in some cases do that too. I'm not sure about the Pequot, but well, that's great. So looks like off and running, and things are looking very promising.
They are, and we started out. Like I said, we did spring practice, so we didn't get to start the 4 days early in August. So we started on the 23rd, last week Monday, with conditioning. We met with the kids a couple times before that and, told them what to expect. They were all given summer running programs to stay in shape over the summer. Unfortunately, we didn't get to use the weight room like we had planned this summer at Vinyl, which is something we're going to work on for next year because there was some technical issues there that had to be resolved. And but anyway, they were all given their summer running program, and a lot of them did it, and you could see the difference when we came back for conditioning for the 5 days. And this past Saturday, we conditioned Monday through Friday, and this past Saturday it was the first day in pads. And yes, we're young. We're going to be a JV team this year, junior varsity level, and we're going to grow from there. And I'm excited about it. My coaches are all excited about it, and kids are excited about it. Parents are excited about it from both schools.
Great.
So it looks like everything's moving forward.
So what sort of numbers do you have out there, Joe? And what's the split between the two schools?
Believe it or not, the split is almost right down the middle.
Wow.
Okay, we've got 44, great. And there's actually 23 from Vinyl. So there's 3 more and 21 from East Hampton.
Fantastic.
So it's an even split, which is great. And all my guys that my coaches are saying this looks identical to St. Paul with Goodwin. That's what we were.
Yeah.
We were, once we got the co-op going, split right down the middle. And that's good. That's what you want with a co-op. You don't want one school overwhelming the other kids, because the other kids might feel a little bit rejected, and
That was the situation with Vinyl and Coginchaug, right? Coginchaug had so many kids.
Coginchaug had some more. Yeah, they had more. There was no doubt about it. But I think the Vinyl kids are excited about it. Obviously, the East Hampton kids are excited about it. They've been trying to get football rolling in their town for a few years now, and they knew that the only way they could really do it was with a co-op. And Vinyl is an identical situation. We knew that the only way we could do it was with a co-op. So here we are.
Great.
It's a win-win situation for both schools.
Okay.
You're right, until that day where, there's traffic on the Portland Bridge or an accident or something, and, the timing gets all screwed up on the practice. But
Well, anything, they could just jog the rest of the way to practice. Get their game warm up.
Well, we work with it, and that happened, that happened a few times when I was with St. Paul with Goodwin. The vans, they bust the Goodwin kids over in vans, the state vans, and a couple times a few of them got held up for one reason or another, and you just got to go with it, and if, even today we were a little bit behind, being that it was the first day of school. We were a little late getting on the field today, but it's something that it's a work in progress with this whole program. So it's moving forward, and that's just one of the issues, the transportation.
now, how difficult was it to set up a full schedule, playing other JV teams?
Especially this late.
Actually, Sean Russell did a great job. The AD for East Hampton handled the scheduling. And as far as the games go, Dave Curtis handled the scheduling as far as the fields and the officials and the transportation. So they kind of split the duties. So we kind of have co-athletic directors, and that both of them respects each other, and they both handle their duties. And so far everything's fallen into place. But Sean was right off the bat, posted on the CIAC website that we were looking for junior varsity games, and we tried to get as many Pequot teams as we could to get ready for next year when we're hoping to go varsity. That's the goal, to go varsity in 2011. So.
Now, were you able to set up any Saturday games, or they are weeknights?
We have 3 Saturday games and 6 Monday afternoon games. And right now we have a Thanksgiving Eve game with Nanawag, who is in the same boat as we are. They're going junior varsity only this year, and possibly freshman and junior varsity. And that game on Thanksgiving Eve is going to be a preliminary varsity game leading us both into next year as varsity teams.
Oh, great.
So I think it'd be a great Thanksgiving Eve situation for both teams. That, it's the start of the varsity season, for the following year.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Okay, you referred to your staff a couple times. Tell us who's on your...
Well, they're a very unique
Coaching
group of
staff.
guys. We've been together for so many years. The majority of us actually were on John's staff at Newington. Charlie Tolosano, who's been with me for, he started volunteering with the freshmen with me. He's retired from Pratt & Whitney now, so he's got the free time. And he's gone with me from the years at Newington. We were both under John, and then up to Fermi for 2 years when I was running the defense. He was doing my defensive backs. And then at St. Paul, same thing. He helped me with the offensive backfield and also did the defensive backs. And now at East Hampton Vinyl. Great guy. Like I said, he's retired. He's available. And the next one's Tommy Francolino, also coached at Newington way back in the 80s and 90s, and was with us at St. Paul with Goodwin Tech. Took a little break when I went to Buckley. He's actually the in-school suspension supervisor at McGee Middle School in Berlin.
Okay.
Also a retired police officer, on to his second career. So, he's running the defense. He was my D coordinator at St. Paul, and he's going to do it here. I also have Scotty Edmond, who actually played for us at Newington, was a split end, and also played a little bit, believe it or not, a little bit at halfback, and we even had to throw him in at fullback a few times. But he came on the staff with St. Paul, and then he came with me to Buckley, and now he's on the staff here. And the last one is Adam Gottnick, who's actually one of the new gym teachers at East Hampton. And he's going to be doing our freshmen this year if we are able to do a separate freshman program, which we're hoping. And it's good to have a coach from that school system also.
Oh, yeah.
He's at the high school 2 days a week and the elementary school 3 days a week. So, he played for Central Connecticut State University. And, it's his first coaching opportunity, but, we all had to learn once. And so that's why I'm putting him with the freshmen. And he's been with us learning the system. And, he's ready to jump into it. So I think we have a great coaching staff that we put together, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, that's great. Sounds like you got a good mix of a lot of experienced guys, which obviously will help out people that so kind of one hand knows what the other hand's doing, and at the same time, it's going to help the kids out because they're going to be able to teach exactly what you want and not. Obviously there are probably some pointers you may tell the coaches, but they kind of know what they're doing right from the start.
Now, do you have the schedule? You know who the 10 opponents are?
I know who the first one is. We're opening up with Cognachog,
Yeah.
week 1. Yeah.
Okay.
And most of the other ones are Pequot teams. We have North Branford, we have Haddam Killingworth, Morgan, Cromwell. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
So basically, it's that area basically
Right.
kind of around here with a couple travels
Right.
out there and that. Now, you mentioned previously you have 44 students out at this time. Now, does that include freshmen at this time, or that's exclusive of freshmen?
Right, that's exclusive of freshmen. That's grades 10, 11, and 12. We're at 44 right now.
That's super.
Right, which is 23 from each school. And to be honest with you, freshmen to start out, I'm thinking we're probably only going to get 7 to 8 from each school. I think it's going to take some time for kids to realize that, it is a new co-op, and, I know especially at Vinyl today was the first day for the freshmen. The kids, a brand new situation for them, brand new school. They're leaving their home school district now to come to Vinyl. And, I think it's going to take some time for people to realize that we're going to, have the 2 levels this year, freshman and junior varsity, and next year we want to go all 3 levels.
That's great. Very ambitious, but at the same token, I think you have to do that in order to develop a good program today. You need to have each level because the freshmen obviously need more attention, specialized, they're brand new, just getting into a stance or whatever. The JVs now, they have the basic fundamentals. Now it's time to mature and foster them along, and you got your varsity. So.
Right.
Now, what's the practice schedule look like, Coach? I mean, you do any weight training with them, during the season? How does that, tell us in general what practice looks like?
Well, basically what we're doing is, we're on the field for 2.5 hours, maybe, obviously a little longer at the beginning of the year. Weight training is going to be limited. We're going to do some with the Vinyl kids while we're waiting for East Hampton to get over, work on the upper body, do some bench pressing. And then when East Hampton gets there, again, a lot of it's going to depend, this year especially, depend on what we're up against for weather, field conditions, things like that. I mean, I'm not going to blow a day on the field to stay inside and weight train.
Yeah.
But, that's going to come with time. We're going to get our off-season extensive weight training program, I believe, in the Coopers maximum workout plan out of Dallas, Texas. That's the one that we've used at other schools that I coach at. And, it's a good program that really helps build the upper body up. And, I'd like to really get going with that during the off season. I mean, during the season, yes, we're going to do some lifting, but it's not going to be as extensive as it may be when we, the following year when we go varsity.
And so you're running a wing tee on offense. What's the defensive scheme look like?
Right now, I'm looking at the Miami 43. I mean, again, a lot of it's going to depend on what teams we're facing. I mean, we're going to the Rocky Hill Jamboree this Saturday, and I know Dave Coyne well, and Dave loves his double wings. So, we might run a little 50, and we've practiced the 50, a couple of the nights when we went conditioning for the second hour when you can run plays. And, we lined up in the 50, and, I ran some offensive plays against Franco's defense, and just so they'd get the feel for being in the 50, because if we're going to go against double wing, I really don't want to go 40. Yeah. But, who knows? Dave likes to spread sometimes, too, so we might, we'll see what happens when we get there. It's a good learning experience for the kids,
Now, basically, realistically, you have a very young and fresh team.
Right.
How does the talent level, or how's the maturation of learning at this point been?
It's been good. The kids have been really grasping things well. They're asking a lot of questions, which is a great indication that they want to learn. Believe it or not, already, and Saturday was the first hit day, and we didn't practice Sunday because, I figured everybody's got their, stuff on Sunday. If we had gone away to camp, which I've taken teams to camp in the past, obviously we would practice Saturday, Sunday at camp. But so we gave them, Sunday off, and we were back out there today, and the linemen are calling right away, what defensive scheme they're going up against when we're on offense. They're calling whether it's an odd or an even defense. Okay, and right there, that's an accomplishment that they're able to make that determination as to whether or not we're going against an odd or an even, because that will dictate our blocking scheme in the wing tee.
Sure.
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, everybody knows wing tee, the guards are always moving. Well, if they're in an even defense, we got to cover for the guards. They got two hard men right over them. So, the tackles in the center have to know where they're going, or our quarterback's going to be looking at the clouds. Okay.
Well, that's good. So, the match, and usually defense comes along a little bit faster than the offense, but at the same token, for them to be able to do that already, that's a step in the right direction, obviously.
Yes, it is.
Now, obviously, being new, do you have any size as far as, linemen or receivers or quarterbacks?
We have some size on the line. We have a couple returning players that were on the Vinyl Cognachog team that played at the junior varsity level last year. They were sophomores this year. They're going to be juniors. Two tackles, Alex Pinter and Zach Kane are returning players.
Okay.
Alex saw a little bit of varsity time last year, so he's got a hair of experience. And Zach is coming along. He's got some size, and he's got to work on his footwork and his speed. And he's going to be a decent tackle. And, we're working on filling the other slots right now. Everything's up for grabs. We tell the kids that, there's no positions written in stone, and we'll judge it by performance in the scrimmages. We'll break down films, and, starting positions will come from there.
Now, I don't know if this has come about yet. Are you going to have captains this year, or are you going to have game captains, or how?
I've
how
kind
have
of
you
looked.
formulated that?
I've looked at both angles with this, and I'm looking at a couple different things right now. I haven't really made my decision as to if I'm going to go with. We are going to have some sort of captains, but I haven't decided if I'm going to go with co-captains